It was pretty wild out there with all the different setups and the draft. Pretty wild, we did what we could to patch up our damage. We got caught up in one of the situations, and that took us off of offense and put us on defense to just ride and find holes where we could. And that was our main goal, was to position ourselves with 20 to go and hold it wide open at that point and see what we got. And we ended up, I guess we're third now. Somebody got penalized, but the way our monster team continues to not give up and learn from each situation, our main goal was to run all 500 miles. And the car has a couple scratches on it, but we're out there for every run to gather data.
What did you make of this racing?
It's pretty wild. It's hard to really even say or digest right now.
What do you think of the track? And what did you?
It's pretty wild. It's really hard to digest right now. I'm hoping we can go unrestricted in July.
Parker, you said the car has a couple scratches on it. It seems like these things can take sort of a beating and keep going. You guys were able to overcome that.
Yeah, we had a vibration and maybe a hub going bad. I don't know if it was due to contact, but sometimes you hit something just right and you keep going, and other times you barely hit anything and your day is done. And right now these cars are hard to build, and I'm glad that ours is somewhat rolling right now.
Is this something that maybe they could look at for a Charlotte or a Texas, or is it early for that too?
Yeah, it was pretty wild out there.
Your team obviously battling back. You addressed it a little bit, but how important is that for you on this new organization going forward this season?
Yeah, at any point that we can gain helps us. It helps camouflage when something bad really goes wrong or you miss it on a setup. But right now we just keep chiseling away, and playing defense and putting patchwork on a car isn't ideal, but that's what we got to do sometimes, and we've been able to polish up on that.
Are you impressed with the body being so tough that you guys can take shots like that and continue?
Yeah, it was really weird. I mean, the 8 car spun in front of the whole field, and then I still see him driving. I'm like, how is that possible?
You ran up front.
Fuck no, it's not the finish we wanted. Just bad timing on the 12. Not his fault, but just when we got connected, we were just in the corner. And I'm assuming, because, I was like, we got a big run coming from Blaney, and the next thing you know, I was fully locked to the right. So, hardest hit I've had, though, so I'm going to be sore tomorrow.
Do you like this track?
No, I didn't win.
Okay.
What did you make of this racing overall?
So I'm not upset with it. I was talking to Landon Castle this morning, and he was like, I'm not. He told me not to say anything, but he was like, I didn't mind it. I actually had quite a bit of fun, and I did too. Now, let's have it here in Daytona, Talladega. Let's not go repave every mile and a half in the country. Let's not bring Kentucky back to life. Like, let's leave it under 6 feet under. It's done. We're over. We're never going back there. I feel like this can be its own thing, and people can get excited about that. But if we go pour 28 degrees of banking to every mile and a half, like, that's not our future. And I think Jim and Ben, I think they know that. I think the France family understands. Where us competitors, we want to lift. We don't we'll do this a couple times. It's great if we win. It's not good if we crash. But let's leave Atlanta. It's a cool place. Even if I would have been out when we blew that tire, it was still going to be. I would think I would have still had a positive memory of it.
Yeah, it was kind of like a combination between a mile and a half and a super speedway. A little bit of both. Handling was very important. So yeah, it was good. It was fun. I guess I say that because we ended up well, but maybe some guys that didn't have as much fun wrecking. But overall, we had a fast car the entire weekend. Yesterday we unloaded and we were fast. I think that we had a very, very sporty car, and if we can continue to do this every week, the trophies are going to start showing up.
So have you noticed that at Trackhouse, heads are held a little higher now? You guys have just been on it since the start of the season. It's got to feel good.
It definitely feels good. It feels good that all the work that we've been doing, not just this year, but the off-season and last year is slowly paying off. Like I said, we're greedy. We want more, and we want to continue to do this every single week. I believe that we're going to win races, and I believe we're going to win races very, very soon. So just have to keep pushing. Those opportunities are going to start coming the more and more times that we start running in the top 5, top 10.
Yep. Harrison Burton, tough day here at Atlanta, but seemed like it was tough for a lot of drivers. What did you make of what we saw out there?
Yeah, just got into a crash, I think, in stage 2, and spent a lot of day with a bent lower control arm and some pretty rough damage there. So frustrated by that. You know, I felt like we had a pretty decent Dex Imaging Mustang. Kind of spent the first stage cruising. I didn't know that we could go get stage points, so I figured I would just cruise around. And then when push came to shove, I was kind of getting up front in stage 2, and then just got a crash, just kind of working on track position there. We were pretty far back from how our stage 1 went, and then got the car better, and I was more aggressive in stage 2 and just kind of caught up in something.
Seems like there's some mixed reaction among drivers on you know, what the racing is like here at Atlanta now. What did you make of it?
It's challenging. I mean, it's really hard to pass. It's hard to gain track position, and there's not a lot of room, right? It's not a super wide racetrack, so it was challenging. I thought overall it was probably entertaining to watch. It was frustrating at times, and it was fun at times for me. So sounds like about every other racetrack.
Thanks, Harrison.
I don't know, he got loose.
This type of racing, is it making you more an entertainer than a driver?
Yep.
You like this version of Atlanta better than the old one?
Nope. The racing's okay. You know, if your car's good, you can make positions, but you know, this is kind of the new, you know, way that we're going to run this track, at least for a little while the pavement's still fresh. You know, but it's, you know, it's kind of, it is what it is, but you know, not too disappointed with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously I like traditional style racing and traditional style mile and a half racing especially, but I mean, for a new repaved track, yeah, this is probably more exciting. But yeah, it's hard to pass for sure. It's just narrow, and your car, you kind of have to use up your 1.5 lanes in each of your lanes to keep your handling right, where your Daytona and Talladega, the corners are so long, you don't really have to worry about handling. So it makes it difficult to move forward, but at the same time, it's pretty intense. So hopefully one of the Hendrick teammates can get a win.